So, good morning to all of you. Uh, so, today's chapter is supply chain management, and we'll be only discussing an overview of this because it's a very big chapter. It's a subject in itself nowadays. So, we'll try to discuss the salient feature of all aspects which are required at the basic level. So, supply chain management. So, this is how a supply chain network looks like. uh, if you see, it is a network. So you see, if we start from here, there's a factory, and you see, from the warehouse it goes to factory. Vendors are there who are supplying the raw material and all things required. It comes via the transport, goes to warehouses, bigger warehouses, then from there transport to the factory. Then from the factory the product goes via transport to warehouse, and then warehouse to transport, and then it is transported to the customer. So there is a flow of material this way, and there is a flow of information this way. So in any case, the supply chain management is a network in which there is a of network and physical goods. So why it is required? With the advent of the improvement in the advanced technology, significant developments have been made in the areas of all the business areas. So logistic and supply chain, these are the two words which are used, interchangeably, but there is a difference. So we'll try to understand what is logistics, what is logistic management, what is supply chain, and what is supply chain management. So we will be concentrating our discussion on these aspects. So both of these terms are closely related to each other and plays a significant role in the firm's value chain process. So value chain is a chain, means as the material from one station to another station, we are adding value to it. So it's a chain. So we call it as. So what is the logistics? Logistic is a management of flow of things between the point of origin and the point of consumption in order to meet the requirement of customer or the corporation. Okay. So it is a movement. It is a management of the flow of things. So that is important. Now what is logistic management then? It is a management process which integrates the movement of goods, services, information, and capital right from sourcing of raw material till it reaches to the end consumer. That it is known as the logistic management. So it is a management of so many things: movement of goods, services, information, capital. Okay, so it is not only the goods which we are making. So logistic management is a exhaustive management process. There's a very definition given by the Philip Kotler. The market logistics involve planning, implementation, and controlling the physical flow of the material and the final goods from point of origin to the point of use to meet the customer requirement of the market. So it is, each and every word is important. So it is a market logistics, means we plan what to make, how to make, and implement it, and then we control the physical flow of material. We make that in a controlled manner, physical flow of material, and we make a final good which goes from the right from point of origin to the point of ultimate customer. So you see, if we go back to the first slide, from vendors it is going to the factory. So for vendor, people are the customer. Okay, so for them it is again important. Okay, and for factory people, customer and customer are the customers. Okay, so that means the flow of goods is there between these two different entities. Okay, so that's why logistics. Uh, what are the objectives of this logistic management? First is to provide the right product with the right quality at the right time, in the right place, at the right price to the ultimate customer. So you see, each and every word is very balanced and very important. Second objective is to offer the best services to the consumer. Okay. And third is to reduce the cost of operation and maximize the profit. So when we will reduce the cost of operation, so naturally the profits will be rising. Okay. So we have, our aim is to produce the things at the minimum cost, at the same time satisfying the needs of the customer. To maintain that transparency in the, so it means that we should be able to know the facts at each and every level, why the delay is there, why a problem has come in a product, why it has not come. So there should be a transparency level in all the operation. So these are the 7 R's of logistic, which are, we call it 7 R principle of the logistic. So these are the 7 R's. First, right product. Second is the right customer. Third is the right quantity. Fourth is right condition. Right condition, that it should reach in the right condition, at the right place, in the right time, at the right cost. So these 7 R's are very important. Okay. Now the activities which are covered under the logistics. So these activities are network design. So as we have seen, network. So network of supplier, network of transporter, network of the production people, network of warehouses, network of retailers, network of the customer. Okay. So we have to design a very good network. So we cannot discuss, in very much detail. It is going to take much time. So I have listed only the, bullet points, and we will discuss that these are the main activities. Now, second activity is, so first activity is that we should have a very good network design for an effective logistic management. Second is the order processing. So order processing means the moment we receive a call, say in Amazon, say, seller, big seller. So nowadays, if we receive a order, so order will start processing whether that material, that item is available, when we can make it available, at which, or whether it is possible for us to touch that station. So that means the order processing should be very efficient and very fast and with the facts. Okay. Third thing is procurement. Suppose it is not there in our network, so are we going to purchase it from some other party? Okay. So that is third party. So the third activity is the procurement activity. Fourth activity is the material handling. So material handling is very important. Suppose the things are lying in the Amazon store at, say, Chennai, and they have to be delivered in here, Sangrur. So the material, how much it will take for the shipment, and whether it is possible to bring that particular item with that mode of the transport we are going to use. So that means material handling should be very good. Then inventory management. Inventory management, just now we have discussed. So we have to keep a proper record of how many items of that particular product are available in hand, and how many of them will be, exhausted when the order is placed, and for the future how we will manage. So these models and everything we have discussed yesterday, we have tried to understand. Then packaging and labeling. This is a very big area. So we should ensure the of the product, the proper labeling with the address tag, and all the information. Then warehousing. Warehousing is another important area, because you see, suppose if things are there manufactured near Chennai and they are to be transported to the Delhi. So it is not possible all the time to bear the cost. So what we do, we make some warehouses in between, in and around of the major center where the orders are expected. So this warehousing design, their proper upkeeping, the management of the things in the warehouse, so that is a very important activity. And the last, of course, is the transportation. So transportation has to be, registers, transporters should be there. They should not bucket up the material like we have seen as a case study. If you see in some of the cases, these, what do you say, these domino people and all these food stuff people. So there had been complaints, or there have been complaints in the case of the Amazon delivery boy and Flipkart delivery boys also, that they change the material or they change the things. Okay, so that means our transportation should be reliable and efficient. So in a very broad way, I have classified it, these activities. So just to make you an idea that what exactly things are involved in the logistic management. So now, if we classify the type of logistics, so we can broadly classify them into the two category. One is the inbound logistics, another is the outbound logistics. So what are the activities which are involved with the inbound logistics? As the name suggests, inbound. Inbound means incoming. The activities which are concerned with procurement of material, handling, storage, and transportation. So to make any product, we need the procurement of that material. We need proper handling of that material, and we have to store that material, and we have to transport. So these aspects or these activities which are concerned, they fall under the category of the inbound logistics. Second category is the outbound logistics. The activities which are concerned with the collection, maintenance, and distribution or delivery to the final customer. So it is collecting the material from the warehouses, maintaining if it is there in the warehouses that has to be maintained, and distribute them to the proper customer at the proper time with the proper utmost care. So these are the two type of the logistics you can see. Now you see this is a chain, so which will make you clear that just a minute. So there one side there is a supplier, and on other side there is a customer. Uh, so there is a inbound logistics. In inbound logistics, we purchasing the warehouse, then production planning, then customer transport. So inbound logistics, purchasing functions are there, warehousing, where the material, we purchase the material from outside and it is stored in the warehouse. Then it goes to the production planning, and then it goes to the customer and service of the customer, and transporting the material to the customer. So this side is the outbound logistic, this is the inbound logistic, and on the inbound logistic, suppliers are there, and outbound logistic, customers are there. So now the types of logistics, other type of logistics, the logistic may be very kind depending upon the purpose for which it is used, the kind of organization by which it is used, and the objective is required to achieve. So we have classified them. First is the business logistics. It is a part of the supply chain process which plans, implement, and control the efficient flow and the storage of the goods and services from point of origin to the point of consumption. So it involves comprehensively everything. Second can be the logistic in the military area. The design and integration of all support for the operationality of the military forces, as well as reliability, efficiency of the equipment used by them. So you see, in the military case, you must have seen the soldiers. They used to, travel in convoy, and they used to take the total their ration, their ammunition, the furniture, the transport, the telecommunication part, everything in the convoy. And so that means they take from right from say Jammu, going to Tamil Nadu. So that is all the operation involves in this in the form of convoy is a part of the military logistics. Then the event logistics. Other can be the event logistics. It involves the network activities, facility, and the personnel required to organize, schedule, and deploy the resources for an event, as referred to as event logistics. So you see nowadays some mega show is going on, say for some big personality, or the political rallies are there. This is also an event management. So event logistics. So the kind of activities involved that network will fall under the category of the event logistics. Then service logistics. So in the service logistics, the activities related to the acquisition, scheduling, and management of the facility, personal material with the objective to support and sustain a service operation or plant. So suppose we have a car manufacturer. So the plant is say in Haryana, but the cars have to go outside throughout the country and throughout the globe also. So the logistic people, so they will acquire material from the factory. They will schedule it, how to send to the different station, and they will manage of the facility, what kind of the trucks or what kind of the trailers or what kind of containers will be required if it has to travel to abroad, and what type of people. So suppose the big trailers are required, so the very highly skilled drivers will be needed, and the material, of course, it is required, which they will acquire. So the objective should be to support and sustain a service and operation. So service is, to deliver the finished cars or the automobile to the warehouses or to the retailer, so that it can go to the end customer, and also the spare parts. So that means the business of that particular car manufacturing company goes on. So this falls under the service logistics. So you see, like this TCI, Transport Corporation of India, and just now there was a case, that Evergreen ship which were stuck up in that Suez Canal. Okay, so these are the service logistics they are involved. Now international logistics are also known as the global logistics, which focus on how to manage and control the overseas activity effectively as a single business unit. So they deal only with the uh, overseas or the international logistics. Like you see, DHL courier is there. Okay, and like that, there are so many logistics people which deals only with the at the global. Now, there is one more kind of logistic entity, which is it is 3PL we call, or third party logistic. Third party logistic. That's why it is, in short, it is known as 3PL. So it refers to outsourcing of the logistic activities ranging from a specific task to the broader activity, serving the whole supply chain, such as investment, order processing, and consultancy. So it is like that we outsource the total activity. Okay, so like that, if you say nowadays the exams are conducted, entrance conducted, or passport services are which are managed by the government of India. But the third party in the case of the passport, it is TCS. Okay, So that means we offload this to a company who will manage all the activities of that particular activity of the supply logistic management. It may be order processing. There we depute hire one company, that is a third party. Okay, it is not a agency which is consisting of the people from the inside company. It is a independent. Okay, so that's why we call it as a third party logistics. So there is a client. Client means the owner. So the client can be a transport people, client can be warehouse people, customer. Suppose we import, so customer clearance is required. Okay, so the third party people class manager for inventory control and order processing. So these are the activities which are fall under the category of, and these are to be outsourced. So third party for transport, we fix up a third party for transport, for warehouse, for customer clear, for inventory control and order processing. We offload that activities to a particular agency which is not party, 3PL logistics, and also there is a 4PL or fourth party logistics. So it was proposed by the Accenture company in 1996. So what is this 4PL? It refers to a party who work on the behalf of client to finalize the contract and management of the performance of 3PL. You see back, so here all these things are done by the client. Okay, client is a transporter, is a owner, so he is a client. Picks up a third party, and he will control. But here in the case of PL, we fix up a party. It refers to a party who works on the behalf of client to finalize the contract negotiation and management of the performance of 3PL. So that means above 3PL, and if we see this slide, above 3PL and client, there is a fourth party. So he will do this. Party will do all these activities independently, and they will also control the 3PL people, whether the task given those 3PL people, whether they are doing it properly or not. In this case, the client has to do. Okay, so that means if the operations grow bigger, so we try to offload them so that we can concentrate the company concentrate on more business expansion. So I think it should be clear now. It refers to the party works on behalf of the client to finalize the contract negotiation and management of the performance of 3PL provider, including the design of whole supply chain network and controlling the routine operations performed by them. The reason for using 4PL by a company are the lack of technology, because you see those people, they are the expert in that direction. So if we train our people also, they may not be trained. Okay, suppose supply chain management, we have to have the facility of ID. Okay, everywhere. So they have the technology, they have the people, so they can do it, do the work more efficiently. Okay, so it is the reason lack of technology to integrate the supply chain process, the increase in the operation in operating complexity, increase in the global business operation. So that's what I have so told. Suppose Tata people are there, they are making the car or they are making their trucks in India, and they want that their trucks the export should increase. Okay, so they what they do, they fix up the 4PL, 4 party logistics. So who will have the client as Tata, and the third party will be there, which will be doing all those functions. 4PL people, they will be responsible for the total growth of the company for their export. Okay, so instead of this, if they Tata does not fix up 4PL or 3PL, then everything has to be done by the Tata itself. So that means they have to hire more people, they have to concentrate on more operations, so which will hinder their main business. Okay, so that's why the 4PL approach is quite advantageous. And nowadays you have seen so many events are there, like this match fixing and all those things. So everything is done on this philosophy. Now, till now we have discussed what was logistics and logistic management. I hope the things would have been clear by now. Now let us second aspect, that is the supply chain management. So first of all, let us try to define it. Supply chain management is a series of interconnected activities. So you see, because it's a chain, so the activities are interconnected. If has been disturbed, the whole chain will get affected. Okay. So supply chain is a series of interconnected activities which are related to the transformation. Transform means we take the raw material, we we transform it to a finished product or semi-finished product, and movement of the raw material to the finished goods. So that means we take the raw material, we transform it, and we transfer this finished good to the customer. That means we have integrated so many things, and that is a single entity is doing, that is the supply chain management. So it is a series of interconnecting activities which are related to the transformation and movement of material to the finished goods till it reaches to the end user. It is the outcome of the efforts of multiple organizations that have helped making in chain of the activities in the successful. So you see, it is close to logistic management, but still it is different. So in the future slide, we'll discuss how it is different. Let us go into more deep. So now you see, as said, chain. So it's a chain with producer, with the and with the retailers. So you see, this is a slide. You see the order. So from the customer, we receive the order. Okay, and this order goes via distributor to the producer, and producer to the supplier. So when we receive the order, what we will say to the supplier, okay, you supply at so much. If we are getting it from outside, or if we are manufacturing, then we'll be asking for the, okay, and then we'll be producing. So supplier will be giving us material or the raw material or the finished material. Then we will be doing some value addition. So it is producing. So this dotted arrow. Then it will be, when the product is made, it will be going to the, so it will be going to the distributor throughout the globe or throughout the country by some transport means. There it will go to the retailer. That means to the small, people in the small pockets. And then from retailers, it will go to the customer. See, there is a flow of orders and there is a flow of goods. Okay. So it is a entity of flow, but the whole chain is integrated this way and this way. Okay. So it is a chain. Okay. So what are the components of the, just a minute. Yeah, the slide was shifted. So now the supply chain management. So as you know, the chain. So one side there is a supplier, then there is a manufacturer, then there is a wholesaler, and then is a retailer. Okay. So the supply chain management is a series of interconnecting activities which are related to transformation and movement of raw material to finish the goods unless it reaches the end user. A definition given by Martin Christopher. Supply chain is a network of organizations that are involved through upstream and downstream linkage. So upstream and downstream, you understand. So it is the upstream, okay, order goes, and it is the downstream, okay. So it is network of organizations that are involved through the upstream and downstream linkage in the different processes and the activities that produce value in the form of the products and services in the hands of the ultimate consumer. Michael Huggins also gave a very important definition, that is FCM and the transportation among the parties in a supply chain to achieve the responsiveness and the efficiency for the market being served. It refers to the coordination and production, inventory and the location. So the activities of supply chain. So as we have seen the activities logistics. So activities of this thing, the first activity, the integration of all the performance management, product development. Now you see logistic is the activity of FCM. Information sharing, procurement, customer services, and the sourcing. This is sourcing actually. Supply management, order fulfillment. Okay, once I have received the order, it has to be in time. Returns management. So sometimes you see we sell a product, like if we order something on to the Amazon, some defective is there, or we do not like that. So there is a policy that you can return it within so much of time, period of time. So to get back that material properly and in the proper condition, so it is a activity which is return management. Then transportation, warehousing, demand management. So we know our mobile or app of Amazon knows that this person has purchased a computer. So immediately they will start sending you the details of items those are related with the uh, computer or computer peripheral. So customer relation management, CRM. So SCM will also see that last time we supplied this on this date to the particular customer. So if we can remind him by a gentle reminder that if you are again interested, so here is the price fall or here is the product has come. So this falls under the CRM. Now, what are the components of management? So it is a network. It is a network of information flow. It coordinates between the different activities. Should be supply chain should be such that the conflict objectives should not. Okay, so this is a very important issue. We do not have much time to discuss on this. That objective should not conflict other objective. Okay, so that is the we should avoid having such objectives. So balance between the cost and the service. So if we are providing the service, the cost should not go high, and if we are it cheap, the offer. So you see, these are two objectives, but they are conflicting in nature. Okay, so if we are providing a product and we are giving very good service, so that means cost is involved. So it is bound to have costly. But the moment if it is costly, so the people will not like to purchase it. Okay, cost. So again, fall down. So again, it is a conflicting objective. So there has to be balance between the conflicting objectives. Then we should foster the long-term relationship. We should make the long with the customer. As I said, suppose a customer has purchased a PC, say last year in the festive sale. So we should know, we must know that what are the liking of that particular customer. So we should try to have the long-term relationship. There's one more important philosophy in the supply chain. This is a very modern supply chain nowadays. Push type supply chain or pull type supply chain. Okay. So what are the push process and what are the pull process? We have to this. The pull process execution is initiated in response to the customer order. So if a customer order, we say to the customer that there's an offer going on such and such thing and all that. So we entice the customer and we pull the execution. We take the order, him, we pressurize, he places the order and pull the execution so that the processing of that order. We start making that. So this process is known as pull process. We the demand. Push process execution is initiated in anticipation of the customer order. We try to produce and we in the anticipation that customer uh, purchase that. Suppose a new car is coming, with the new feature, try to push to the people by enticing that we are introducing a new car. It is having these features, so which have not been given by anybody. It is having so powerful engine and like. So we are pushing the order customer. Okay, so that means again he'll be to place the order, and here we are pulling the order from him. So there is a pull process. Okay? So if you see here, in the case of the push process, procurement, manufacturing, and replenishment cycle, and the customer order cycle falls under the pull process. So when you push the order, so the pull process will definitely be, because when you introduce a car, the processes we So now what are the objectives of the supply chain management? SCM focus on of the following strategic objectives. Number one is reducing the working capital. Okay, so it should not be like that. That to start with, we have to put a very huge working capital for sustaining of the supply chain. It should be like that. It should be self-generating. So although it cannot be, but it has to be like that. That it is its own capital. So we should try to reduce the working capital, which we have to pump. Next objective is building a competitive infrastructure. So that means it is self clear. Cash to cash cycle. That means the moment we place the order, we should get the money. So you see, point to point sale people, what they do, they say, okay, you pay online, and will send you the order. He'll bring the order, you pay on the spot. It is not a credit. Okay, so it is cash to cash cycle. Increasing the turns, inventory turns. So inventory turnover we have understood in our last class. So we try to increase the inventory turn, means we try to increase the more orders per year. So if we are producing, if we are placing the order, is us say 4 times a year, so the turnover is 4. But if he does it 8 times, so that means the more need is there. So the objective should be like that, that the inventory inventory turnover should be increasing. Leveraging the worldwide logistic. So our SCM should be like that, that it can supply the things of globally. Synchronizing the supply chain demand. So the demand which is generated accordingly, the production should be there. Harmony or the synchronization between supply chain and the demand. Measuring the, so we should be see the, so suppose time we purchase a product, so we see how many star rating this product has got. That means what is the quality level, what is the service level, what is the cost, how much, how closely it meets the specific requirement of that particular product. So like that. So next objective is cost. So we should keep cost as minimum, and we should keep the quality high. Shortening the lead time. So the moment we should place the order, so within very less time, or the within shorter time, it should be reaching to the customer. Minimize the total system cost. The customer service requirement. Okay, service requirement is that way. If something has come and there's a problem, so it has to be attended properly. Like you see, just now the government has supplied the concentrator from, the Prime Minister Yojana to the different districts and different states, but they were lying because they were not being properly installed. So they were not, the state governments were not satisfied. So that means the service requirement should be there. Improve the standardization. The product should be like that, that it should have the standard models. The face, it should be able to face the globalization, and it should enhance the organization. Okay. So now what is the difference between the logistic and supply chain? So till now you have understood what is logistic management, supply chain, and supply chain management. So now let us try to, in now 6-7 slides, and we will try to understand what is the difference. So each and every slide is important. Close my discussion later on. So logistic management is a part of supply chain management, which deals with the management of goods, efficient and effective. The conceptual difference between logistic and supply chain management are discussed below. There are some points I have listed down. The flow and the shortage of goods inside and outside the firm is known as the logistics. ठीक है? कितना मटेरियल हमने भेजा and how much has been received. The moment and the integration of supply chain activity known as the supply chain management. So in management, the is missing. Okay. The main aim of the logistic is customer satisfaction. Okay. While the supplier chain management is to gain the substantial competitive edge. Okay. So that means if we have supplied the things properly to the customer, so next time he is going to place an order. But the logistic people, they can only give the satisfaction. So people have brought you some packet of your some important document, so you will be happy. Okay, it has come in time. Okay, but the person who has sent, so you will be, making a relationship. So that means to gain a substantial competitive advantage. While in the logistic, it is only the customer satisfaction. Only one organization in logistics, while multiple organizations are involved in logistics. Deals with the strategy and the coordination between marketing and the production function of the organization, while supply chain management focuses more on purchasing and procurement along with the another function, because it is only the procurement and purchasing. If that is so, nothing will produce. So the main focus of the supply chain is purchasing and procurement. SCM includes the factors relating to inventory, material, and the production planning also. On the other hand, the logistics include the factors which are related to the demand management and forecasting only. So these are the essentials of supply chain. The firm should to lower down the end user price. It must focus on reducing the percentage of supply chain cost in the overall cost in order to make the supply competitive. Matrices know the level and extent of the customer satisfaction and their improvement. This is what I was saying, the rating of the product. Suppose you are going to buy a mobile phone. So what is the rating the customer has given? To identify the key areas which should lead to reduction of the time, and to cut the overall supply chain, which will move the product fast through the supply chain. Other than essential should be, it should have the collaborative planning among the trading partners with shared management of resources, and there should be focus on the visibility of the usage, forecast orders, shipments and inventory. So logistics is not an integral component of the although it is different, but it is an integral component of the SCM. Without SCM cannot be complete. So logistics refers to the activities that occur within the single organization, and the supply chain refers to the network of companies that work together and their action to deliver in a product to market. So logistics focus its attention on such as procurement, distribution, maintenance, and inventory management. The supply chain management includes not only the logistics but also the activities such as the marketing, new product development, finance, customer difference. So it is an integral part. It is the backbone on which the supply chains are driven. Logistics facilitates the management of the flow of goods and supply and the documents into entities. So logistics plays an important role in post-procurement and also the flow or network of transportation by road, rail, ship, and intermediate warehouse. The entire activity involved in the multi-tier supplier and agencies include freight forwards, packers, customer department, and the logistics service provider. So you see, all these people are involved. The supply chain design in an organization would detail the plan and standardized procurement strategy, manufacturing locations, distribution, and all many more functions which we have discussed. So with this, I conclude my discussion on a brief discussion, which will I have tried to give you overview of supply chain management, supply chain, logistic and logistic management, logistic management, and so supply chain management. I hope you will be able to take some valuables from this discussion. So thank you so much for your patient hearing. Thank you so much.